I saw this video go viral and man, this is indicative of so much that is wrong with modern day society. Look at this scene. I haven't even hit play and I can guarantee you all already know how this is going to play out. White couple, black woman, single mother, of course, and you know that kid has never faced any discipline in his entire life. Watch.
Little boy, I'm trying to keep him occupied on the plane for 3 hours.
I'm gonna be honest, I looked at that kid's thug hair and you know what came to mind? This clip.
Now, most people think your kids have to be like in their teenage years before you could tell if they're gonna be good or not. You could tell early, like at 4 or 5, you'd be like, yo, he going to jail. Yeah, he going to jail. Yeah, you can save all that money. Your boy bad, that motherfucker.
And I know all of you think the same damn thing that I do. That kid is destined to end up in jail. It is inevitable. It's written in stone already.
I understand. We're just trying to relax, get to our destination. We're all going to be fine.
It's fine. Just stop in a sec. You'll be okay.
You got a lot of energy, don't you?
Just talk to me.
I'm sorry. Do you care to like get your kid out of jail?
It's getting real.
I mean, have you ever had a kid on the plane for 3 hours? What would you do? What would you do?
She's got a good
If that was
point.
my kid, he would be behaving.
He's behaving. Definitely behaving.
How on earth is this kid behaving, except badly? When I see this kind of thing, when I was his age, it would never even occur to me to kick the seat. If I even did once, my mother would put a hand on my knee and give me this look that says, try that again and this will not end well for you, boy. And I would know it's not appropriate because unlike that kid, I was raised by competent parents. Oh yeah, and I had a father. I don't know about all of you, but I was raised old school. Like back in my day when you could physically discipline your kid. Hell, I went to a private Christian school in South Africa, and they still had corporal punishment. This was in the late 90s, by the way. Never did I have to suffer any of that, though. No one in my class did either. Except one kid. He was hit 3 times, I think. Third time's the charm, apparently. But back in my day, and you know you're getting old when you can start saying sentences like that, if you were out and your kid misbehaved, you could physically discipline your kid, and no one would say a word. Kid misbehaves, they need discipline. Hell, other parents could discipline your kid when they misbehaved. I can still remember to this day, very clearly, friends of my family, they had twin daughters, and their father threatened to discipline me in this manner. Now, I was physically disciplined by my mother. My father never laid a hand on me. So for this man to leer over me and talk to me in this manner, my brain was thinking, who the hell do you think you are? But the man's 10 times my size, so, I'm not going to say a friggin' word. I'm not stupid. Like, I'll tell you guys a funny story. My mother was hit with this leather strap that my grandfather made, and on it were the words mensvlees, which in English translates to human flesh, carved with what looks like a compass in prison, which I'm fully aware sounds horrifying. But this was passed down from my grandmother to my mother to be used on me when I got out of line. I was terrified of this thing because all of my friends were disciplined by belts, and I wanted nothing to do with that thing. I was hit with a wooden spoon. And I still remember the first time I was hit with this thing. When my mother left the room, I sat there thinking, do not say a word because this thing is nowhere near as painful as a wooden spoon. Because the wooden spoon is solid freaking wood, whereas the leather had some give, so it doesn't hit nearly as hard. But I was fairly well disciplined as a kid. I can count the number of times I got in trouble in one hand. Okay, maybe both. And a half, because pain sucks, very simple. Bill Bellamy had a good bit in that comedy special saying, memory and leather go together. Simple formula. You hit your kid once, point to the object and say, do not touch that. The kid sees the object and thinks, that's too much drama, I don't need that. I was freaking laughing my ass off when I first had that bit, because I was raised that same way, and I turned out fine. I don't have a problem with violence and fear. I was disciplined, not beaten. I go by biblical principle, Proverbs 13:24, spare the rod, spoil the child. A parent who refuses to discipline an unruly child, that kid will grow up accustomed to getting his own way and develop an air of entitlement. Nowadays, though, we have these limp-wristed faggot liberals who think you can solve every problem by fucking talking to people. No more physical discipline. Either drugs or therapy. Oh, the kids will grow up scot. Shut the hell up. Some humans need physical discipline. Age is irrelevant. Same group of delusional wankers who think you can pamper people into good behavior through words, yet they also believe words are violence. How those people can even dress themselves baffles me. You all see the way the youth behaves nowadays, no respect whatsoever, and I know a fair few of you think the same damn way I do. Like, it boils my blood to a rage when I get these idiotic people who say, oh, I was never hit when I was misbehaving and I turned out fine. Yes, because not everyone is like you stuck-up pretentious toff. Not everyone responds the same way to stimuli. I legitimately hate those people with a passion. I actually think there's a biological element to physical discipline. Call it brutish, but it's the lowest common denominator. We're mammals, and physical discipline is painful. Excess pain can cause death. Law 1 of any mammal, self-preservation, ergo, mitigate the circumstances that induce pain. Anyone can understand that. The concept of not doing something even if you won't get punished because you're inconveniencing someone else or being disrespectful, that's upper tier intelligence and morality, and not everyone is capable of that. Sorry, a lot of rambling here, go on.
I don't think you've passed on good manners.
I definitely passed on good manners. I'm gonna need you to turn around. So I got this. I'm gonna need you to turn around and play it off.
Play it off.
He stopped.
Okay.
Stopped.
Yeah, you're good.
Honestly, I need to make a scene.
I mean,
There you go, mother claims nothing is wrong, doesn't even understand. Apparently, or she's just an asshole with an attitude. Kid is emboldened, no discipline, he thinks he's entitled to keep kicking the chair. This is so basic. If your kid does not understand this, hell, if you don't either, you're a piss poor excuse for a parent, and Bill is right. The kid is going to end up in jail.
come on.
Stop, honey. Like,
What do you mean
honestly.
stop it?
Yeah,
I
listen
feel
to
like
your
I'm on
wife.
a roller coaster.
Listen to your wife.
Oh, that bit. That bit right there annoyed me more than anything else. Listen to your wife. That attitude right there is the typical matriarchal attitude. This is why their community is so fucked up, because they have no respect for men. And then those same ones turn around and go, why do black men not date black women? Let's see, because you're loud, arrogant, entitled, disrespectful, and you have no sense of shame. Maybe that.
That's your best bet. Turn around and listen to your wife.
Hey, buddy. Is there any way you can stop maybe kicking the seat?
Do not talk to my son.
There you go, same entitlement. Who are you to talk to my kid? Passed down from mother to son. You can't have a functioning society with people like this. This level of entitlement is crippling. Like, you can tell the mother never got disciplined either, and you damn well know if someone tried to check her, she's the kind of person who would scream racism from the frickin' rooftops. You know, I'm just gonna say this. You try and see the best in people. But man, if you're objective and you spot the pattern recognition over and over and over again, you would be stupid not to comment on it and act accordingly. If there is to be social cohesion and not tension, this kind of behavior needs to be checked, not encouraged or emboldened. The fact that they can behave in this manner and not recognize that it's bad will lead to the impression they can't be afforded the same freedom as the rest of society because they're degrading it. Even if you're afforded a sense of privilege, so-called, you should know how to behave like a normal, decent human being. But do they do that? Nope. They exploit it with no sense of shame or consideration for anyone else around them, and that is going to make people hate them and want to avoid them. That is what will make the rest of society go, see, look, they can't behave themselves. I said before, when people get a pass for this kind of behavior, the impression it gives is you're either too weak and fragile to take criticism, or you're too stupid to achieve the same basic level of decency as the rest of us. You get a pass because society thinks less of you. If you keep doing it over and over again, all you're doing is reinforcing the stereotype. You know who I feel for most when I see this kind of BS? The cool black people who have their affairs in order. They're not stupid, they know this kind of behavior, they see it as objectively bad the same as everybody else, and they react the same way as everybody else does, by wanting to get the hell away from it. Screw it, I'll end it here. You guys can guess how this clip ends anyway. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.